The imperial city of Hue, or Dien Noi, was the royal and political heart of Vietnam under the Nguyen Dynasty. Enclosed by massive walls and a moat, it served as a fortress, royal residence, and administrative center. At its center stands Ngo Mon Gate with 5 arches and the 5 Phoenix Pavilion, symbolizing imperial authority and prosperity. Kien Trung Palace and Dien Tho Palace housed the emperor and the queen mother, while Thai Hoa Palace hosted major ceremonies. Walking through Dien Noi, visitors can imagine the grandeur of court life, the solemn rituals, and the artistry of Vietnam's last imperial dynasty. It remains a vivid testament to Hue's history, culture, and architectural mastery. Ngo Mon Square and Hue Flag Tower. Right at the heart of Hue's imperial citadel lies Ngo Mon Square, the grand ceremonial courtyard where emperors once held official events and welcomed foreign delegations. The square stretches wide and open, framed by majestic walls, offering visitors a true sense of the scale and power of the Nguyen Dynasty. At the center stands the iconic Ngo Mon Gate, or Noon Gate, crowned with intricate roof details and regal decorations. Above the gate rises the Ky Dai, the watchtower and observation pavilion, which historically served both as a military lookout and a symbol of imperial authority. From here, you can enjoy sweeping views of the square, the surrounding citadel, and even the Perfume River in the distance. Visiting Ngo Mon Square and Ky Dai is like stepping back in time. You can almost hear the echoes of imperial ceremonies and feel the grandeur of Vietnam's last royal dynasty.
Hue's Nguyen Gate and Ngu Phung Tower, symbol of a prosperous Nguyen Dynasty. Nguyen Gate is the main gate and is located in the south of the Imperial City. Reserved only for the king and his entourage to enter and exit the Imperial Palace, or to welcome envoys. Previously, this location was Nam Kye Dai, built at the beginning of King Jia Long's reign, in the 14th year of Minh Mang, 1833, when the Nguyen Dynasty reorganized the entire architectural plan of the Imperial City. Nam Kye Dai was demolished to build a more majestic and larger Nguyen Gate. The south direction, according to the concept of Eastern Feng Shui geography, is the Thai Ngo direction. In fact, the direction of Nguyen Gate as well as the entire Hue Citadel is the Can Tun direction, northwest, southeast. But it is still considered the Ngo direction, south. According to the Book of Changes, the south is the direction reserved for kings to rule the world. Turn toward the light to rule the country. After more than 200 years with the effects of time, harsh weather and even the smoke of war, Nguyen Gate still exists and stands firm until today to become a symbol of Hue. To briefly describe the architecture of Nguyen Gate, Hue folk songs have the following verse. Nguyen Gate has 5 doors and 9 floors. 1 golden floor, 8 green floors, 3 straight doors, 2 surrounding doors. What is the point of being a woman in the Imperial City? Nguyen Gate architecture is divided into 2 main parts, the platform system below and the Ngu Phung floor above. Although the nature and construction materials are very different, these 2 components are designed in harmony with each other, becoming a unified whole. Platform system. The platform has a perpendicular U shape. The base is 57.77 meters long. The side is 27.6 meters long. The platform is built of bricks and stones combined with bronze beams. Nearly 5 meters high, occupying an area of more than 1.560 meters too, including the inside of the U. The platform has 5 entrances. The middle entrance has a signboard with 2 Chinese characters, Nguyen Gate, carved in bronze. The middle entrance is only for the king. The 2 sides are Ta Zarp Gate and Hu Zarp Gate for civil and military officials in the royal procession. The 2 outermost entrances on the 2 wings of the U are Ta Dik Gate and Hu Dik Gate for the soldiers and elephants and horses accompanying them. Ngu Phung Tower. Ngu Phung Tower is the part of the tower located above the platform of the gate. In addition to the main platform, the tower is also elevated by a 1.15 meters high foundation system that runs throughout the U-shaped platform. The Ngu Phung Tower is designed with 2 floors. The frame structure is completely made of ironwood, including 100 pillars, symbolizing the common people of the world. The roofs of the lower floors are connected to each other, running around to cover the back porch. The roofs of the upper floors are divided into 9 roof sets. Light and graceful. The Ngu Phung Tower is located above the platform, elevated by a 1.15 meters high foundation system that also runs throughout the U-shaped platform. The tower has 2 floors. The frame structure is completely made of ironwood with 100 pillars. The roofs of the lower floors are connected to each other, running around to cover the back porch. The roofs of the upper floors are divided into 9 sets, of which the middle roof set of the Ngu Phung Tower is covered with yellow tube tiles. The remaining 8 sets are covered with blue tube tiles. In the front and middle is a system of upper slat and lower slat doors, surrounded and behind by wooden panels, on which are carved many windows with very rich and diverse shapes such as circles, fans, gongs, etc. The ridges, eaves, and gables are decorated with many sophisticated patterns. Nguyen Gate is the most typical architectural work under the Nguyen Dynasty. It not only functions as an entrance gate, but is also considered a ceremonial platform. This is where the Nguyen Dynasty held important ceremonies such as Ban Sok ceremony, promulgating the new calendar, Truyen Lo ceremony, reading the names of new doctors, Diet Bin ceremony, etc. In particular, on August 30th, 1945, Emperor Bao Dai went up to Ngu Phung Tower of Nguyen Gate to read the abdication proclamation and hand over the seal and sword to the Provisional Government of Vietnam, becoming a citizen of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam. At that historic moment, 21 cannon shots resounded on the Hue Flag Tower. The yellow flag of the Southern Dynasty was lowered to let the red flag with a yellow star flutter under the witness of tens of thousands of Hue people, ending the 143 years of existence of the Nguyen Dynasty, closing the feudal regime in Vietnamese history. Today, when visiting the Royal Palace, in addition to admiring the grandeur of the ancient citadel, you can also witness the changing of the guard ceremony, from 9 o'clock to 9:30 a.m. every day, at the Nguyen Gate. This is one of the ancient rituals that the Hue Monuments Conservation Center has organized to recreate in the form of a spectacle to revive the space of the heritage, while helping visitors visualize an ancient ritual in many activities of the Nguyen Dynasty. And a special point that has not been available before is that visitors can now climb up to visit the Ngu Phung Tower. Standing from the Ngu Phung Tower, we will have a more comprehensive view of the entire Hue Imperial City. Tho Palace, residence of the Queen Mother and Grand Queen Mother of the Nguyen Dynasty. Dien Tho Palace in Hue possesses a large-scale palace architecture and is the residence of the Queen Mothers and Grand Queen Mothers of the Nguyen Dynasty. This is one of the most unique and outstanding works of the Hue Imperial City. Dien Tho Palace is one of the Hue tourist destinations belonging to the complex of ancient capital relics built during the Nguyen Dynasty. With a history of hundreds of years, Dien Tho Palace was built in 1804, an architectural system that preserves the long-standing cultural and historical beauty of the land of Thu Athene Hue. This work is located in the northwest of the Imperial Citadel of the Hue Imperial City, next to Thai Hoa Palace, west of the Forbidden City and south of Trung San Palace, with more than 20 large and small buildings located in a rectangular land fund of about 100 meters wide and 150 meters long. This is the most massive and splendid palace in Hue. In 1993, this palace was included in the list of 16 relics of the Hue Imperial Citadel complex and was recognized by UNESCO as a World Cultural Heritage. The large-scale Dien Tho Palace was the residence of the Queen Mothers. The King's Mothers. It was originally named Trung Tho Palace, then successively changed to Tu Tho, Chia Tho, Ninh Tho and finally Dien Tho, the name used until now. Although it has undergone many changes in both structure and name, the role of the palace has remained the same as its construction purpose. It is to demonstrate the filial piety of the Nguyen Dynasty kings to their respected parents. During the Nguyen Dynasty, Dien Tho Palace had changes in structure, but its function was still the residence and daily activities of the Queen Mothers. King Jia Long was the one who built Trung Tho Palace as the residence for the Queen Mother, replacing the rear palace in April 1804. During the reign of King Minh Mang, he built Tu Tho Palace right in the grounds of Trung Tho Palace to serve as a resting place for Tuan Thien Khao Hoang Tai Hao Tran Ti Dang. Tu Tho Palace was completely dismantled by King Tu Duke and built into Jia Tho Palace in February 1849 to serve as a residence for Tu Du Hoang Tai Hao. During the reign of King Than Tai, this architectural work was renamed Ninh Tho Palace and was owned by Tu Du Hoang Tai Hao, mother of King Tu Duke. Then Tu Min Hue Hoang Hao, mother of King Than Tai. During the reign of King Kai Din, Ninh Tho Palace was renovated, repaired and renamed for the last time Dien Tho, becoming the residence of Phu Thien Tuan Hoang Hao. Typical works in Dien Tho Palace. The main hall of Dien Tho Palace. The main hall located in the center of Dien Tho Palace was built with bricks and black painted wood. The project has a massive scale with an area of about 960 square meters. Meticulously carved in the architectural style of King Jia Long. Although it has been hundreds of years, the interior of the main hall is still intact, including the horizontal lacquered board, Dien Tho Palace, and 8 extremely valuable mirror paintings. Ta Tra House and Tin Min Tower. Next to the main hall is Ta Tra House, the place to receive guests who come to see the Queen Mothers of the time. The project has a total of 3 rooms. 2 wings built with bricks and wood, which are materials with a strong East Asian character. A large yard away from Ta Tra House, opposite the main hall, is Tin Min Tower. This project was built during the reign of King Bao Dai with a Western architectural style. Kung Nin Kak. Kung Nin Kak was built to worship Buddha and serve the religious needs of the Queen Mothers and the harem at that time. The 2-story building is made of wood, with an extremely balanced and harmonious architecture. This is a rare architectural work located in a separate campus, separated from the outside by a closed wall. Ta Trong Du. Located to the east of the Dien Tho Palace's main hall is Ta Trong Du, a work designed in the traditional Hue house style, consisting of 1 main room and 4 wings. It has a blue glazed tiled roof, tiled floors, wooden walls and extremely sophisticated carved interiors. The space surrounded by lotus ponds and lush green trees of Ta Trong Du is a place for the Queen Mothers of ancient times to rest and relax. Other small works. Although over time, some of the auxiliary works in Dien Tho Palace have been destroyed and only the foundation remains. However, at the same time, thanks to the local conservation efforts, This place still retains its majestic and ancient beauty with many impressive small works. Typical examples include the high wall surrounding the campus, the long screen made of bricks, the corridor connecting the buildings, the square well, all of which contribute to recreating the historical picture of Vietnam from hundreds of years ago. The ideal time to visit Dien Tho Palace. Normally, those who have experience traveling to Hue often choose to come here from September to April every year, when the weather is at its best for outdoor activities. From September to December, the weather in Hue at this time is cool and not too sunny, so you can comfortably plan your trip. This is also the time when the ancient trees in Dien Tho Palace begin to change leaves, creating a beautiful scene for taking check-in photos. From February to April, this period coincides with the dry season in Hue, so the weather is sunny and less rainy, making it ideal for exploring. Some notes for visitors. When visiting Dien Tho Palace, you should choose polite long-sleeved clothes if you want to take photos that really match the landscape here. Bring a traditional costume or ao dai in your suitcase. You need to proactively comply with the regulations of the relic, such as not touching artifacts, not taking photos, recording restricted areas. To avoid getting lost in the Hue Imperial Citadel relic complex, you should check the way to Dien Tho Palace in advance. Dien Tho Palace, with its massive scale, is one of the unique architectural imprints of the Nguyen Dynasty that remains in the land of the ancient capital. When traveling to Hue, don't miss the opportunity to visit the space that used to be the residence and living space of the Queen Mothers of the time, and take some impressive check-in photos. This place promises to bring you an extremely interesting experience of historical and cultural exploration. Trung Palace, a historical witness in the heart of Hue. After more than 70 years of existence as a ruin, in the spring of the year of Giáp Thìn 2024, Kien Trung Palace, one of the 5 large architectural works located on the sacred axis in Hue's Forbidden City, and also the workplace and living place of the last 2 kings of the Nguyen Dynasty, has been restored to its majestic and splendid appearance as before to continue telling interesting stories about the Nguyen Dynasty's inner palace and historical events of the country. Kien Trung Palace is not only a large and important architectural work in Hue's Forbidden City, but this place is also associated with many historical marks of the country. This is the workplace and living place of the last 2 kings of the Nguyen Dynasty, King Khai Dinh and King Bao Dai. Kien Trung Palace is also known as the place where King Kai Din passed away, November 6, 1925, where Queen Nam Phung, wife of King Bao Dai, gave birth to Crown Prince Bao Long, January 4, 1936. In particular, this is also the place that witnessed a historic event. That was on August 29, 1945. It was here that King Bao Dai had his first meeting with the delegation of the Provisional Government of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam to discuss his abdication, including discussing the content of the abdication proclamation that King Bao Dai read on the afternoon of August 30, 1945 in front of tens of thousands of people in Hue, putting an end to the thousands of years of feudalism, opening a new era of independence and freedom before the heroic victory of the August Revolution to take power into the hands of the people. Unfortunately, only 24 years later, in 1947, due to the war, this building was completely destroyed, leaving only the foundation. The history of Kien Trung Palace has gone through many stages. Initially, there were two buildings at this location: Minh Vien Tower, then Duku Tower. Minh Vien Tower was built in 1827 under King Minh Mang. This is a large wooden building, consisting of 3 floors, 15.8 meters high, a place for the king to go up to enjoy the scenery and cool off. During the Chu Tri period, the king had Minh Vien Tower restored and placed on the roof of the tower a night pearl that shines every night. Minh Vien Tower was ranked by King Chu Tri as the first beautiful scene in the Than Kin in He Thap Can, 20 beautiful scenes of Than Kin land. However, this architectural work was dismantled under King Tu Duke. In 1913, King Dui Tan built another new style building on the old foundation of this building and named it Duku Tower. This new building has only 2 floors with a relatively simple architecture. After ascending the throne in 1916, King Kai Din changed the name of Duku Tower to Kien Trung Tower. But later, from 1921 to 1923, the king rebuilt the entire Kien Trung Tower with a style that mixed French architecture, Italian Renaissance architecture and traditional Vietnamese architecture. The entire Kien Trung Palace was built by King Kai Din using modern techniques and durable materials such as cement, steel, porcelain, glass, etc. Therefore, this building has many modern appliances such as electric lights, tap water, water fountains, lightning rods, iron doors, etc. After King Kai Din passed away, King Bao Dai renovated the palace and installed more Western amenities. Since then, Kien Trung Palace has become the common residence of the entire royal family, including King Bao Dai, Queen Nam Phung, Prince Bao Long, Princess Phung Mai, Phung Lian, Phung Dung and Prince Bao Thang. After 72 years of existence as a ruin, in 2019, the Hue Monuments Conservation Center started the project to restore, renovate and embellish Kien Trung Palace with a total investment of more than 123 billion Vietnamese dongs. The project was carried out on an area of more than 3.800 square meters. The construction units kept the existing foundation structure intact, limiting intervention in the original elements of the relic. The project includes items such as restoring the main building of Kien Trung Palace with 2 floors, about 14 meters high, construction area of about 975 square meters, reinforce and restore the surrounding wall system, railing system, front and back courtyards, steps. In addition, the project also renovates small surrounding structures such as brick pedestals, fountains, cannons, guardhouses, tree systems, preserves the foundations of Dong Kung Lao, Ngu Tu Phong, Vo Ho Jia Phong and Ngu Fei Phong. After 5 years of restoration and embellishment, Kien Trung Palace relic has been completed and officially put into operation. Introduced to the people and tourists on the occasion of Tet Zarp Thin 2024. According to experts, in addition to historical values, Kien Trung Palace also has great architectural and artistic values because it has all the characteristics of an Indo-Chinese style structure. especially the typical ceramic mosaic art that creates a typical appearance for the Nguyen Dynasty's royal architecture. With its unique architectural and historical values. Since its opening to visitors, Kien Trung Palace has attracted tens of thousands of people and tourists from home and abroad to visit and experience the Nguyen Dynasty's royal cultural space. In the coming time, in addition to the spaces displaying royal antiquities in the inner palace, this will also be a venue for many attractive and unique cultural events to serve the needs of visitors.